What's up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSDMode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to talk to you about how to massively grow your real estate business with Facebook and other social media platforms. And what we're going to be talking about here today are organic strategies. So I'm not talking about paid Facebook ads or paid ads on other platforms today. We'll save that for another future real estate tip. Today we're talking about how to leverage these amazing, powerful platforms that exist out there that have massive audiences. How do we go out there and leverage these free platforms through free strategies to massively, again, grow our real estate business? So we're going to break down a lot in today's real estate tip. This is not just your typical tip. This is almost going to be more like a little kind of mini webinar here, because I want to make sure that you guys truly understand this. I want to make sure that you truly understand why. Like, why Facebook? Why these other social media platforms? Like, what's the power behind them? I want to make sure that you understand what to be posting about, when to be posting, how frequently to post, what types of content to be posting. You know, if you look at just Facebook alone, man, we got posts, we got reels, we got stories, we got all these different types of content that we can post. I want to make sure that you have full clarity on all of these things. So by the end of this, you know exactly what to do to go out there, murder it, and crush it, and start growing your real estate business through these platforms. All right, so the reason why I wanted to go deep in this today is, look, I have conversations each and every single day, and a ton of these conversations with realtors, team leaders, and broker owners, and I'll be asking them, I'm like, well, why aren't you leveraging, these amazing, powerful tools that we've been blessed with to exist out there? Now, whether you enjoy these for your own self and for your own life, is irrelevant. You don't need to like these things to go out there and leverage them. I'm going to walk you through how I go out there and post 27 pieces of content each and every day, spread out over 6 different platforms in less than an hour a day. So I spend far less time on social media than the vast majority of people out there, far less than the average person, right? But then I'm able to go out there and create and publish more content and go out there and gain more business. So I'm leveraging these business tools. I don't need to enjoy them. I don't need to spend my own personal private time there, right? I'm going to leverage these amazing tools that exist to go out there and build my business, because that's what the objective is. That's what the goal is. And that's why I'm guessing why you're watching or listening to this podcast right now, is because you have an objective to go out there and grow your real estate business. So we're going to break all of this stuff down. And again, I want to make sure that when I ask the question to people of, like, why aren't you leveraging these? Why aren't you using these? The common answers that I get are, along the lines, and usually it's a combination of all of these. Well, man, I find it overwhelming. I find it complex. I don't know what to be posting on. I don't know when to post. I don't know how frequent to post. Man, it's just not me. I don't like social media. It's just, like all of these things, right? We're going to make sure that, boom, we got these overcome 100% for you in this training. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about here is Facebook itself. Now, what I want to have emphasis on this, because what we're really going to be talking about today is very heavily Facebook. Now, it's not that I'm not a proponent of these other platforms. I 100% am. But Facebook for our industry is the juggernaut, which I'll get into some more details here and some stats here that will probably blow your mind. But so what I do and what I recommend that you do is to create your content for Facebook. Then from there, we can take that same content and within a matter of seconds, go out there and republish and repurpose that through copy and paste on other platforms. So I'm creating, when I said I post on 27 pieces of content a day on between 6 different platforms, well, I'm creating all of that for Facebook. And then what I do is, let's just say I'm doing 2 stories on my Facebook business page, 2 stories on my Facebook personal page, 1 reel, 1 motivational post, and then I'll sprinkle in 2 other, types of content posts that it can be a combination of any of those things, whether it be a post, story, or reel. I'm posting that to my personal. Then the stuff that's business related, I will take over and put on my business page. Then from there, I just copy and paste those same exact things, toss it on Instagram, toss on Twitter, toss on LinkedIn, toss on YouTube, toss it into TikTok or wherever else, which will break all of that down. But Facebook is the juggernaut for where our ideal clients are at for real estate, for the vast majority of us. Now, you might be in a unique situation where you're like, hey, I get more of my clients from Instagram or wherever. But here's the thing, why not be on all platforms, right? And usually for real estate, it's Facebook, then Instagram is kind of a number 2 right behind, Facebook. But why not be on all of these platforms when it makes it so quick and easy to just copy, paste, repurpose. Like, let's just be everywhere that our potential clients are at. Now, if I have somebody in my agent within my real estate company or coaching client that's like, hey, I'm only going to focus on one platform. Which platform do you recommend? It is Facebook, right? And again, people are going to have different experiences, but the reason as to why I focus on Facebook so heavily are it's really twofold. Number one, Facebook is the juggernaut platform out there. When you look at Facebook as of right now, well, this actually I got my cheat sheet up here so I don't forget these things. As of April of 2023, Facebook has 2.989 billion monthly active users. That doesn't mean Facebook's got 2.9 billion total accounts. That means that every month, monthly active users, Facebook has almost 3 billion people logging into their apps, logging onto the platform, and leveraging and using the platform. That's a massive amount of people, right? That's more than a third of the overall planet. Then when we look at, first world countries, I know most of us that watch or listen to this are in the United States and in Canada. Okay, like how many people aren't on Facebook? Very, very few. Right? So then when we start breaking this down, if we look at, again, why Facebook and why to focus on Facebook when it comes to building out your content, and using that as your primary platform, then repurposing and re-leveraging these other platforms. And here's the thing. If you're like, well, Josh, that's not what I want to do. I want to be focusing on Instagram. That's my jam. That's my thing. Okay, cool. Everything that we're here talking about today applies to, Instagram as well. There's nothing that is, differentiates from these kind of main things that I'm here to talk about today. Now, Facebook has far surpassed LinkedIn and all other platforms for where the affluent are at. If you go ask my kids will be like, oh, well, Facebook's for the old people, right? So, to my kids, I'm old, but man, I'm the age of the average buyer out there, man. I'm 41 years old. If you look at the average first-time buyer here in the U.S., it's 37 years old now, so those that have the means to go out there and buy real estate. So that demographic that's looking to buy in real estate, you're kind of higher end of millennials, and then you got your boomers and whatnot, like our Gen X and then boomers, dude, they are on Facebook. That is their platform of choice for the vast majority of them. And again, I'm not going to alienate Instagram. I'm not going to alienate these other things. There's some other things I'll talk about here too, what Facebook is doing with Facebook, our Facebook business pages, the amount of reach that is just allowing now. They've really turned things around. And doing some amazing things that are really powerful for what it is that we do. All right, so as I said, I just want to notate this because this is important. I know I'm going to talk about Facebook. From this point on, I'm going to talk very heavily about Facebook. However, again, I'm not saying to not be on these other platforms. I'm going to repurpose these on these other platforms, right? All this content that I'm creating. But this is the strategy because, again, I want to make sure that you know what to post, when to post, how to post, styles of posting, how frequently to be posting. All of these things, I want to make sure that you got this dialed in. I don't know if I said this earlier, but make sure you got your pen and paper out because I'm going to walk you through an exercise because I want to eliminate any excuse and or reason as to why you don't have success with social media going forward. Now, you might be watching this or listening to this while you're in the car. Okay, well, just remember to come back and revisit this exercise later. All right, before we jump into any of that, though, real quick, if you haven't already, make sure that you go snag my new ebook. Well, it's not a new book. I've had this ebook out for a couple of years now, but I just updated a lot of the chapters. Some of the stuff on social media was outdated and whatnot. But if you really enjoy these weekly real estate GSDMode tips, you're going to love this free ebook, Dominate Your Real Estate Business, Top Tips from a Top Producer inside here. It's 100-page. If you're listening to this, you can't see the visual. I'm actually got a picture of my bar. I got my book in my hand right now showing everybody. So it's 42 chapters. Each chapter is a different tip. I jump right into it. There is no fluff. There's nothing being sold. This will be delivered to your email box within seconds. You can go to two places. You can go to GSDMode.com, click on the free resources tab, then boom, download the free email or free ebook. It'll be in your email box within seconds. Again, nothing being sold here, no junk, no spam, just powerful tactics and strategies help you grow your real estate business. Or you can go to joshuasmithfreebook.com. Okay, enough on that. Let's get back to the topic at hand here. All right, so I first want to talk to you about the mental philosophy of how to think about these social media platforms, because how we need to think about these as business owners, as real estate professionals leveraging these platforms to grow our business, we must think about them differently than other people. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go out there and utilize these for entertainment. If you want to go do that, cool. Go do that on your spare time. Go do that on your own time. Like I'm always telling my agents, I'm like, look, if you want to go watch, I don't know, Netflix or Hulu, totally cool. I got nothing against that. But my guess is that you're not going to do that during your 8 or 10 or 12-hour workday, right? So I show up at the office every single day here, usually about 6 a.m. I usually leave between 6 and 7 p.m., so I get in my 12 or 13 hours. And when I'm in my office, I'm getting shit done. I'm not pulling up freaking Netflix on one of my computers and watching that. And I'm not sitting here saying that I never watch Netflix. I'm not going to sit there and lie and bullshit and say I never, want or need some entertainment in my life. I do. But I do that after my work is done, right? So same thing when it comes to social media. There's nothing wrong with going in there and what's called dumb scrolling, going in there and just, utilizing it for entertainment purposes. But do that after hours. Do that after work. Like just having that mental, that philosophy, that mindset of, okay, we're talking about utilizing these as business tools. We're not here to play. We're here with intent. Am I logging into these platforms with intent to grow my real estate business? Okay, because that's what I'm going to do during business hours. So no different than Netflix, no different than Hulu. I'm not going to get in there and scroll around, and don't be tricking yourself thinking that, entertaining on there is actually building your business, because it's not, right? We've got things that are intentional that we jump in there with intent, and then we got play. So we're talking about being intentional here with this. Okay, so then from there, how I want you to start thinking about social media, my recommendation, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, of course. My recommendation, what's helped me greatly, is thinking of these as my social CRM. Right, so of course we all have our business CRMs. Hopefully you all do. You better have your business CRM, right? So when I look at that, okay, my business CRM is Perfect Storm. It's what I utilize for my real estate, running my whole real estate business, my whole company on is through Perfect Storm. Okay, so when I go in there, what am I doing? Okay, well, I'm adding new contacts to it all the time, aka new leads. So I got to be adding new leads consistently to it. Then from there, what am I doing with those leads? Well, I'm following up, right? So I'm emailing, I'm calling, I'm texting, I'm doing those things. Okay, well then if that's our business CRM, our social CRM is essentially the same thing. We just got to work it a little bit differently, right? I've always got to be feeding it new people, feeding it new contacts. But instead of calling, emailing, texting, I'm posting and engaging in content with them. And as I mentioned a moment ago, just because I don't want this to create any confusion during this podcast here today, when I say the word post, right, when I'm speaking this overall context for this podcast, I'm talking about posting a piece of content. I'm not speaking of a post versus a story versus a reel. We'll get all into the weeds on that here in a little bit. When I'm speaking at a high level though right now, if I say, posting content, that just means posting a piece of content. It could be a reel, could be a story, could be, a post. If you don't know what the hell those things are, I'll explain all of those here momentarily for you. So I'm thinking about this is, okay, this is my social CRM that I'm utilizing to play the game. Of course, I'm still going to have my business CRM. This doesn't replace that. This just adds to that. This just, this is like taking steroids or some shit, right? Like this just adds, this is an accelerant, right? So I've got my business CRM. Now I've got my social CRM. All right, so we're utilizing our social CRMs, and really everything that we do in real estate is to go out there and play the real estate game. So what is the real estate game? To get people to know you, like you, trust you, be aware of what you do for a living, follow it frequently, and or keep your message in front of them frequently. Your business continues to grow. So get people to know me, like me, trust me, be aware of what I do for a living, follow it frequently, and or keep my message in front of them frequently. My business continues to grow. So I'm doing that through my business CRM, through, again, calling, phone, emailing, texting. Right now I'm doing that through my social CRM, through consistently posting and engaging in content. So we're utilizing this to go out there and play the game. Now, the first thing that I said earlier, just like with our business CRMs, okay, we got to always be adding new leads to it. So you need to be intentional about adding new connections to your social CRMs. So one way to do this is to get more followers. So the more content that you're posting, more people are going to start seeing your stuff. You're going to get recommended. You're going to show up and suggest, right? You're going to gain some followers from that component as well. But that's playing defense. We're talking about playing offense here. I'm not just going to sit around and hope and pray people start referring me business. That's going to happen, right? But I'm also going to be intentional about actively going out there and always getting new business coming in the door as well. So how to go out there and grow your connections. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if this is a fortune or a fortunate thing. It just is what it is. With Facebook, when we're talking about your personal page. So in the beginning here, I'm going to talk about personal pages, right? Everything to do from our personal Facebook page. And then we'll talk about your business page as well. Now, of course, with Instagram, these other platforms, you'll just have one account. So this only applies to Facebook. But unfortunately, Facebook has a 5,000 friend request limit. when it comes to your personal page. Now you can flip that to a public account. And I don't know if you need a certain amount of followers or not, but on even your personal account, you can flip it to a digital creator profile. It's like if you go to Joshua Smith GSD on Facebook, which is my personal page, Joshua Smith GSD Mode for Life, numerical 4 is my business page, but Joshua Smith GSD is my personal. Now you'll see on there something like 15,000. I've got my 5,000 friend limit, and then I've got like 15,000 followers or whatever. That's because I've switched my personal profile to a public page where people can when they go to shoot me a friend request, it automatically allows them to follow me. But I'm still subject to just the 5,000 actual friend connections. So use these, be intentional with these. Right? Like anybody that I'm going to send a friend connection with is going to be either a true friend, true family member, like, real friend family that I really want to connect with on there, or I make sure that I have a high probability of doing future business with them, right? So just thinking about that because you do only have a 5,000 friend limit. Okay, so how to go out there and grow these. Let's just say I've got somebody brand new, that's just a brand new agent. As if you watch this podcast for a long time, like I love in my real estate company, I love, bringing on brand new agents in my company. They don't have bad habits yet, whatever. A lot of reasons for that, but that's for a recruiting conversation, right? Neither here nor there. But when I bring on a brand new agent, let's just say that hasn't been active on social, it hasn't utilized this to go out there and build it for a real estate tool, right? So the first thing that I do right then and there is I'm going to walk them through these strategies I'm walking you through. Okay, so first thing that I have them do is I'm like, okay, go through all your yearbooks. So you're going through all your old friends, everybody that you've known, that you're connected with. So go through your old yearbooks and any of your old classmates. Go through like your work directories, whatever, like anybody you've ever worked with in previous careers, anybody that you've done business with in your previous careers, right? Anybody that is part of your sphere of influence, like start connecting with them, shoot them friend requests, connecting with them on Facebook, of course, connecting with them on Instagram, other platforms too, but we're going to be focused primarily on Facebook. So I have them go through and do that. Then from there, everybody in my real estate company, I shouldn't say, everybody, like meaning like they automatically do this. This is just what I teach, what I train my methodology that I encourage my agents to do and my coaching clients to do. The second anybody becomes a client, I recommend part of my manuals, part of my process is as soon as they become a client, I then ask them if they're on social media. I shoot them a friend request on Facebook and I connect with them on Instagram. And I just let them know. Like I'll literally pull up my phone on a listing presentation after we've signed this listing agreement. I'll just ask, hey, by any chance, do you happen to be on Facebook? Okay, and then everybody says yes. Okay, well, what's your Facebook account under? Okay, cool. I just shot your friend request. I'll pull up my phone right then there and do it. And I'll just let them know I just shot your friend request. If you can go ahead and accept that. Number one, I like to just stay in touch with my clients on social media, see what they're up to, get to know each other better. All those things. Plus, that way you can always get in touch with me and reach me there as well. I like to make sure that my clients always know how to get a hold of me, can get in touch with me. So whether you call me, text me, private message me on Facebook, that way you have all these different ways of getting a hold of me, and then bam, then I'll do the same thing on Instagram, right? So ask them if they're on Facebook and they're on Instagram. So then from there, I make sure to not drop the ball in the repeat referral game, right? Because this is a big part of it. Yes, I do calls, I do other things for past client repeat referral business, but my social media strategy is a huge component of that. And why? Because that's where the vast majority of people are at. That's where their eyeballs are at. That's where their attention is at. It's really important that you know and understand that we are in the attention economy now today. So we got to get attention. We got to maintain that attention. We got to make sure we're getting attention awareness, keeping top of mind, all of those things. Again, the game is get people to know you, like you, trust you. Well, if they're a client, they already know me, like me, trust me, right? Be aware of what I do for a living. So they're aware of what I do for a living now, but they will forget if I don't continue to remind them. Stay in touch with them frequently, and I'll keep my message from them frequently. My business continues to grow. Look, one thing I want you to know is that, and just to understand this concept, is that your mother will forget that you are a realtor. To your mother, you are her son or daughter, right? Like if you've ever been in this business long enough, this has happened to you. Where you get together, an event, party, whatever, you walk into somebody that you've known for a while, friend, colleague, whatever, whoever that person is. But like you know them, they know you. They walk up to you, they're excited to talk to you, and they just tell you, oh, I just bought a house. And you're like, you son of a bitch, you didn't buy it through me, right? Like those are the words going through your head. You're like, you're pissed. You're like, you don't know whether to give them a high five and congratulate them or punch them, right? Like it digs, it hurts, man. I get it, I've been there. What I want you to know and understand though, that's your fault, not their fault. That's our fault. We did not do our job. It's our job at a high level to teach and train people to do business with us do continue business with us, do repeat business with us, and send us those referrals. Social media it's a very effective medium to allow these connections, to continue to happen and keep front of mind. Okay, so again, then going through all your old friends, yearbooks, all of that, we already talked about that. Okay, so then from there, being intentional anytime that you have a new contact that you meet. So let's just say, I don't know, you're at a get-together with a friend's house, you're at a barbecue, whatever, you're having a conversation with somebody new. Like thinking of, instead of whipping out a business card to stay in touch, just connecting through social media, right? And I quit carrying business cards, probably 15, 16 years ago. This was before really, social media got big, or really before social media even existed. I don't know exactly the time frames on those, but I did it because I realized that allowed me to play offense, not defense. So instead of saying, oh, here's a card, call me, right? It'd be, somebody's like, you got a card? Or if I went to go grab a card, oh, hey, I just ran out of cards. Let me do this. What's your cell number? I'll text you right now so you have my contact information. Right? I just pulled I'm just waiting. I got my phone pulled out, like I'm just ready to rock and roll, right? So I mean to play offense versus defense. Now, I still do that strategy all the time. But in addition to that, I'll first see if they're on social media. Hey, I've really enjoyed this conversation with you. It's been awesome meeting you. Hey, man, you on Facebook, dude? Really like to stay in touch with you. Yeah, like just, boom, shot your friend request. Yeah, man, you on Facebook? What's your name on here? Right? People are so conditioned to it and used to it. It's not like I got to have some fancy script. I just pull up my phone here. Hey, man, do I've really enjoyed talking with you, man? We'll have to stay in touch. You on Facebook, man? Boom, pull it up. Yeah, I'm on there. Okay, what's your name under? Okay, cool. Just shot your friend request, man. Definitely have to stay in touch. Cool. Yeah, right? Like, it's that simple, right? Like, people, it's just how, it's crazy how we've just, gotten conditioned that these tools are just an essential part of life. It doesn't come across weird to anybody, any of that. So making sure that we're feeding it with those right people, always feeding it with these connections. All right, so now we're talking about posting and engagement. All right, so now the first thing, if you are somebody that hasn't been very active on social media, what I recommend before you start posting heavily on social media is spend just about a week. It only takes about a week. But as you're adding all these new connections to it, your social media accounts, all of that, to just go out there and start liking and commenting. Spend like an hour a day. Go through all the birthdays and go out there and wish everybody happy birthday every day. So you kind of get in the habit of doing that. That's just good practice. Then from there, go through all your A's. So go to your friends list, go through all your A's, right? Then like, comment, then go through your B's, like, comment, go through all your C's, like, comment, go through all your, right? And the reason why this is important is you're priming the social media algorithm, right? So whether it's algorithms, AIs, who knows how this shit operates, but what I do know and what we do know is if you are seeing their stuff, they are seeing your stuff. If you're not seeing their stuff, they're not seeing your stuff, right? So this is why, and I still do this as a best practice like once a month, right? Because again, man, if they may not be showing in my feed, you're not going to see everybody's stuff in your feed, when it comes to this. So by going through this, all right, it's going to ensure you start seeing stuff in your feed. Then also in addition to that, the fact that you liked and commented makes people feel warm and fuzzy, makes them feel good. Like, what's the first thing that you do when people go out there and post content is they go back and see how many likes they got, how many comments they got, right? It's, again, man, it's the number one deepest human desire that exists on the planet is the feeling of significance. So when you like and comment, man, it gives them that dopamine hit. It makes them feel significant. Now, I don't recommend a comment unless it's something genuine, unless it's, if they posted something stupid as shit, whatever, some, stupid political thing or some like that you don't agree with, or that you don't, are like, oh, this isn't me. I'm not going to fake it, right? But, those that it applies, okay, I'm going to go out there and do that. So I recommend to do that for about a week, right? That just get in the habit of doing that each and every day for about that week. Then now you'll start to see their stuff in their feed. But when you start posting, because also the law of reciprocity, they'll start posting and commenting on your stuff there as well. All right, so then now I'm going to talk about frequency. Or first I want to talk about not frequency yet as far as how many times we're posting on a day. We'll get into that. I want to be talking, though, about, because we're still talking about your personal page. We'll slide in business here momentarily. But like, what is the, how much business versus personal, or personal versus business? So what I recommend to follow is one of two concepts, either what I call the 4-to-1 strategy or the 80-20. Right, so 4-to-1 means of every 4 pieces of content that you post, 1 is of business. So that way, 4 posts, okay, I'm posting, if you look at that, that's 75%-ish, of the time that I'm posting personal stuff, 25% of the time the business stuff. Or if it's easier for you, just think of 80-20. I like the 4-to-1 because then I just know, hey, out of every, I'll post 3 personal, 1 business. So out of every 4 total posts of content, 1 is business related. Now, why do we do it this way? Now, I'm speaking not on your business page. On my business page, I'm only posting business stuff, right? So, but on my personal page, why is this important, right? Okay, we got to get people to know us, like us, trust us, be aware of what we do for a living. How you're going to get them to know you and like you and develop that rapport is from them getting to connect with you and know who you are as a human being. So that's only going to happen through your personal posting stuff. And we'll go through what to be posting and how to come up with your list of what to post about, all of those things. All right, so then from there, so that's going to create that likability, that rapport, that connection, that authenticity, all of that. Lets people know, they're going to know that you're a realtor or an agent, team leader, brokerage owner. They're going to know that you're a success in real estate, right? Right now we're talking though about, that likability, which is one of the most important elements when it comes to sales, right? People got to like you. It's just how it goes. That rapport becomes massive. Then the second reason is you're going to get a lot more engagement in your personal stuff than you typically will your business stuff. And that is okay. And that is something to be expected. Just because they're not liking and commenting on your business posts that you post doesn't mean they're not paying attention. But the more that you get people liking and commenting on your personal stuff, that higher engagement, the more people are also going to see the business stuff that you're posting. Because what we're trying to do here is develop that connection, develop that likability to get them to know us as human beings, right? Like we're trying to become good friends, right? Through social. But then just planting that seed, 20% of the time or 1 out of every, 4 posts that, hey, I'm also in real estate. Don't forget about me. Hey, I'm also in real estate. Don't forget about me. And we'll talk about that selling without selling. So you don't have to worry about being in people's face. Cause I know that, nobody likes that, when it comes to this. All right. So, all right. Now what to be posting about? All right, so now we're going to leave out this whole, okay, I'm a successful real estate professional for a second, because that's going to be the given. That's something that we all want. Everybody's watching or listening to this podcast, we need to and want to portray that, right? And we will, and I'll go through that here in a minute. Now, whether you're an agent, team leader, broker owner, we will go through that. But again, let's just sidebar that. Because and I'll go through in depth of what to be posting when it comes to that stuff as well. But now let's talk about the personal front, because a lot of people get hung up on this. Again, what should I be, creating content around? What should I be doing, in my own personal life, whatever. Now, a very helpful tip one of my mentors gave me years ago was he told me, Josh, you need to document, not create. So another way that he explained social media that was very helpful to me was he was like, social media has just replaced reality TV. Now, reality TV is and was the most watched, paid attention to thing ever to exist on cable TV. Now, social media has vastly surpassed that in numbers and size, right? But here's the difference. Social media is reality TV. It's replaced reality TV. But the difference is, instead of the Kardashians being the star, you and I, we get to be the stars of our own reality TV channel. So what you need to start asking yourself is, okay, well, what is the narrative that I want to portray? So when people think of my name and of me, whether it's my business or my name, when people think of Joshua Smith, when they think of my name, they think of me, like, what is that first 5 seconds of that thought that I want popping inside their head? Because this is the cool part about this is up to you to create that perception, up to you to create that narrative that you want to portray out there. And look, everybody has it. Like, look at famous people out there. Like, if I say the name right now, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, like, what pops to your head? You're going to have there's a narrative and a perception that's been created in your head, whether it be all this big, huge, yoked out, muscle guy, or whether it be, whether he's, good looking or charismatic or what, extremely successful. Like, everybody's got that narrative that's portrayed in his head. I'm guessing that if you went and hung out with him privately, it's probably not the same, person that, is portrayed out there, online in the movies, whatever. And I'm not saying to go out there and fake this stuff, but you get to pick and choose what parts of your life you want to open up, what parts of your life that you want people to see. I get some people that come to me that sit there and say, well, I'm not comfortable posting, content about my kids all the time, and so, okay, cool, don't then. Right? Like, again, this is your choice. I mean, look at Gary Vee. Gary Vee is one of the biggest, social media influencers, extremely successful in business and has a massive ad agency, whatever. And, one of the most influential business people on social media. You'll never see anything about his family, never see anything about his kids. He's like, look, I operate a very public business life, My private life, I keep private. Okay, if you want to keep that private, keep it private. It's up to you. This is your show. You get to decide what you're gonna do there. So again, though, think of social media. These are social CRMs, and this is reality TV. But you and I are the star. So what do people think about? What is that narrative that you are trying to portray? All right, so I recommend to make it authentic. Make it where this is truly you. Now you get to pick and choose what side of these parts of you that you want to show. When it comes to that. But the more authentic, the more real. These are things of who you truly are, things that you are actually doing out there, hobbies of yours. Okay, well then it makes it easier to go out there and create content around those things, because what are we doing? We are documenting, not creating. So I'll circle back to what I said earlier that a mentor told me: document, don't create, right? So if you look at reality TV, what is it? It's them documenting people living their lives. I'm sure some of it's staged, and I guess you could stage some of your social media too, right? There's no shortage of people out there doing that. But when you look at this, it's like, okay, I'm not creating. Like, I'm just documenting what I'm doing throughout my day. Like, I'm just snapping photos of it, snapping videos of it, document it, and boom, uploading it to social media. So we're documenting, not creating. Okay, so then from there, what I recommend that you do at this point is get out a pen and paper and go ahead and start making your list. So again, we're going to have, and one thing all of you can write on your piece of paper is, successful real estate, insert whatever. Like successful real estate agent, successful real estate team leader, successful real estate brokerage owner. Maybe it's a combination of all of those things. Right? But okay, you want to portray that you are a successful real estate professional. That's going to be the one thing that we all have in common. Then from there, what else is on your list? Like outside of real estate, who are you as a human being? And what are you going to be? What do you want people to come into your life with? And I recommend to come up with like 5 to 8 things that you have on your list. So we got the real estate stuff. Then from there, we got like a total of like 5 to 8 things of what we're portraying on there. So I just came up with a sample list of mine that I'll read to you just to walk you through this. All right, so I've got, okay, successful real estate professional / entrepreneur. Okay, and again, that's going to be the thing that's the same for all of our list. Okay, I'm also a father. I'm a husband. So I'm posting about this stuff. Okay, like do I want to let the world know that I'm a father? Okay, yes, I do. Right? Like, to me, that's not something I'm going to hide. That's not something I'm not going to put out there. Like, I don't have any worry of posting. I'm not posting, the park my kids are always playing at, or I'm not posting, my kid's bedroom, but when we're out and about and, very public places, if we do family photos, family shit out there, when people think of Joshua Smith, what is that narrative? When I think of Joshua Smith, I want them thinking of GSDMode. When I think of GSDMode, I want them thinking of Joshua Smith. So those two simultaneous, I want those brands to just really kind of fuse together. Then from there, right, I want them to think, okay, man, hey, dude, Josh is a devoted father, man. He's got young kids and spends a lot of time with his kids, and he's, he's a family man. Dude, when he's not working, he's either like working out or spending time with the family. Okay, I'm also a husband. Okay, so then from there, okay, when we go on date nights, when we go on certain things, okay, I can post things about my wife, right? Well, who else is Joshua Smith? Who else am I? I'm not trying to talk about myself in the third person. I'm not a fan of when people do that personally, but I'm just doing it for context of this exercise here. Okay, well, dude, I used to be morbidly obese. I've lost over 100 pounds, kept that off well over a decade, and now I'm really into health and fitness after going through that journey. From somebody that lost his health, that could barely get up a flight of stairs, to somebody that has, a lot of energy. Okay, well, I could talk about that. That's something that's really important to me. It's part of who I am. If I look at this, okay, all my closest, like when you are with your closest friends and in your inner circle, like who are you that they know? Okay, well, in the game of real estate, dude, like, I just want to get as many friends as I possibly can. The more people that know you, like you, trust you, whatever what you do for a living, the more your business is going to grow. So, okay, lost 100 plus pounds. Okay, I can talk about those things. Overcame depression. Some of these things I was very ashamed to talk about, like with my depression and my issues with alcoholism and, all those things. But then one day I decided to be a little bit more vulnerable, started talking about these things, and I realized how many people could go out there and help. Okay, so now I'm not ashamed and embarrassed to talk about how I was massively depressed in my early 20s and all my suicidal thoughts, and had those low moments and how I overcame that. And, it's been able to allow me to connect with more people on a better level. And it's been able to help a lot of other people out, so I can talk about, okay, when I want to talk about that, overcoming, depression. Okay, I've overcome addiction to alcohol and other substances. Okay, I can talk about that from time to time. Okay, I'm really into self-development, right? So it's like every time that I get done reading a book that I really enjoy, that I want to go out there and share with others, okay, boom, I just shoot a screenshot of it, bam, share it on social media. Okay, I'm into motivation and inspiration. Doesn't mean that I need to be motivational. Doesn't mean that hopefully I am, I try to be as much as I possibly can, but I just really just feel like I love motivation. So I try to, keep motivated myself. And through that, it helps motivate other people. But I'm not some stoic. I'm not some philosopher. I'm not some poet. I'm not out there writing these huge, beautiful messages, meaningful messages on social media. What am I doing? Like, I'm just like every day, part of my morning routine is I spend like 20 or 30 minutes scrolling through motivational posts, or not 20, 30 minutes, sorry, like less than a couple minutes, in the morning, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, going through some of these motivational apps I have on my phone. I maybe go through 30 of them, right? And I just screenshot the ones that resonated best with me that morning, that kind of got me fired up. And then I just go out there and share those on social media. And those get huge interactions. I mean, I've had some that have gotten well over 1,000 likes from, it's not even a quote from me, it's a quote from somebody else. I had one the other day that I had over 9,000 engagements on total. Because I had like 35 shares, so I had all these engagements, all of this stuff. Okay, well, I'm really into snowboarding. One of my favorite things to do when it comes to a hobby. Really into hiking. Really into mountain biking. All right, so with all of those things then, okay, as I'm doing these things, now that I have my list, okay, so I got, success in XYZ with real estate. Okay, I'm a father, I'm a husband, so when I'm hanging out with the family, hanging out with my wife, whatever I can, anything that makes sense that I want to go out there and post, okay, there's going to be things I don't want to post that I do with my wife that I'm not going to post on social media, but then there's going to be shit that I am, right? So it's not all this stuff that, okay, like with my weight loss journey, okay, I don't need to be posting every single day pictures of me in the gym, unless you want to, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do that. But about once a week, I sprinkle in, a health and fitness post. And then, several times a month, I might sprinkle in something about the, overcoming depression thing. I might do something about, talking about how I overcame alcohol, what all of that stuff. Self-development, I'm doing that daily, so that is stuff that I'm posting quite a bit. Motivation stuff, I'm posting that every single day. Okay, every time I go on a snowboarding trip, okay, I'm documenting that, posting about that. Every time I go hiking, every time I go mountain biking, right? So when we've got this list, now we know what we're posting that content around. So those, 4 posts, 4 content posts that I'm out there posting, one of those is going to be real estate. Now I have my list of anytime I'm doing these other things, okay, I'm capturing those moments. Now, one tip here is most people are conditioned to post in the moment, capture the moment, post in the moment. Like, get away from that shit. Right? Like, okay, like there's nothing wrong with going out there. Maybe you're on a snowboard trip, over the last couple weeks, and you captured a bunch of cool shots with that, and you want to sprinkle those, over the next few weeks. It doesn't need to be in the exact moment as you are posting, right? So because we want to create content and batch this stuff and have content ahead of time, like I probably have the next 50 motivational posts in my phone. Because every day, everyone I see one, bam, screenshot it, right? So then I'm able to, I just have a huge library of them. I posted one the other day. I posted with my dogs in the car, sitting on my kid's lap, and I posted that. Now, that picture was from several months ago, right? We just got home. I was on vacation with my kid, family. Got home, picked up the dogs from, the doggy daycare thing. And, my dogs were so excited, jumped on my son's lap in the back seat. Okay, I just posted about that. Now, it was something that happened. It took place, obviously, but I didn't post it in that moment, right? Because I'm trying to, bank content, have content for future things, when it comes to that. So, as you're doing these things, snap in those moments, capturing in those in the moments. Okay. So now let's talk about business posting. Now, speaking to Facebook specifically, because Facebook is a different beast where you got your personal page and you got your business page. So when it comes to my business page, what I'm posting on my personal page for business, I will take those same business posts, content posts, whether it be a story, reel, or a post, and I post those same damn things on my business page. So usually for me, I start with my personal page. I'll go out there and post that thing or upload that piece of content. Then, I copy the text that I have. I've already got the image or the video saved in my phone. Then I'll go right to my business page, upload it in there, and then bam, copy paste. Then I'll go over to Instagram, do the same thing. Then I go over to LinkedIn, I do the same thing. Then I go over to Twitter, I do the same thing. Then I go to YouTube, I do the same thing. Then I go to TikTok, I do the same thing. Right? So, so that way I'm creating it for one thing and I'm repurposing it. But on my Facebook business page, I'm not posting personal shit. I'll post motivational stuff, like my motivational quotes and whatnot, motivational stuff, and just my actual business posts. right? But when it comes to when I said feeding those connections, everything that we've talked about up to this point is personal, your personal page. So like where I'm friend requesting past clients, they can follow my business page if they want, but the connections happen through the personal page, right? Okay, so then now when it comes to your business posting itself, my recommendation is to really think about this with selling without selling. So how do you go out there and sell without sell? Because here's the thing, we get people to know us, like us, trust us, be aware of what we do for a living, follow up frequently, or keep our message from frequently. Our business continues to grow. You don't need to be in their face. You don't need to be that douchey salesperson on social media. Nobody wants you to be either. They're going to unfollow you. They're going to block you if you're too pushy, too aggressive with this stuff. But again, we don't need to. We're staying front of mind. We're capturing that mind share consistently, and then we're just sliding that, oh, hey, we're in real estate, don't forget about us. Hey, we're in real estate, don't forget about us. Hey, we're in real estate, don't forget about us, right? That's what we're doing. We document, do not create. Document, don't create. Now, you can go out there and do some creative shit if you want to, but for most of us, like, we're salespeople. We're not creatives, right? So, document, don't create. So what are things that you can be posting about that are received really well, that do a great job about planting that business seed, and again, but keeping people engaged that will also engage in those things. So you got gratitude client posts. Right, so maybe instead of saying, oh, sold in under 2 days, or sold 2 days, but full price, thinking about buying or selling, call me. Okay, no, maybe instead of that, I'm in front of the house. I got the clients with the sold sign in their hands, and I just go out there and thank them on social media. Hey, I'm so excited for my amazing clients. Get their permission to tag them into it if they're willing to. If not, you can leave their name out of it, or their full name out of it. So I upload it, but it's about them. I'm celebrating them. Man, so excited for my clients. I'm so blessed and honored that they chose to utilize me as their real estate agent to help them navigate through this. They finally closed today on their dream home, and I'm so excited for them and their family to, have these keys now to their dream home, right? Like that is a post of gratitude. So one of my agents on my team, who was a number one agent in the month of March, she did like I don't know, 2.6 million in the month of March. So she went on social media and talked about the award, like being number one in the team, and how that's been a mission of hers for the 2 years since she's been in real estate. She finally hit that number. But here's the thing: she came from a place of gratitude. She was thanking every one of her clients, not like by name, but it came from a place of, hey, I just want to thank all of you and for all of your support, and all my amazing clients that made this possible. It's been a dream of mine since the 2 years I've been in real estate to be that number one agent in our team, at least get that number one spot for a month, and just so blessed, so grateful to be do what I love and to be able to do it with such amazing clients. That thing just blew up, dude. Hundreds and hundreds of likes and reactions, and like 80 some comments, and people, like but it came from a place of gratitude. It wasn't oh, I just did this, look at me, look how dope I am, wanting to buy or sell, call me. No, like when you celebrate the process, when you celebrate clients, come from that place of gratitude, it becomes huge. Okay, client testimonials. Whip out that phone. Those make great reels. Get a client testimonial, or great image too. Like you can have an image with them and then have the testimonial written above it. But client testimonials are great. Property tours, make like amazing reels. Images of properties can make good posts. But when it comes out reels, so if you don't know what these are, you got your standard Facebook post, right? Which is just posting an image or just doing a post, right? Then from there you got these reels. So reels are vertical. So if you're shooting with your phone, it's like hot dog, not hamburger, right? So vertical, less than 60-second videos. So short form, vertical content. So what works really great for those is like property tours. So we go out, and especially dope property tours, right? Like badass property. So when we go visit a lot of new builds in our local market, and we're not doing full, sometimes we'll do like fast forward property tours, but a lot of times it's just like if I go into a new build model, right? And we all know that these new build models are always tricked out. Okay, well, a kitchen is one reel, right? Maybe the dope family room with the huge high ceilings and fireplace, that's another reel. Another piece of content. Master bedroom might be another one. Master bath might be another one. The tricked out backyard and swimming pool might be another one. It's like I go, if I go tour one new build model, that might be like 6 pieces of content. So those make great reels. Any kind of tips. Here's 5 tips to help you save for your down payment. All those things. So property tours, sped up property tours, in the field with clients, right? So when you're in the field with your clients, those can make great images coming from a place of gratitude. Just showcasing, hey, so blessed and honored, work with such amazing clients. When you're doing your open houses, having, pictures or videos of the open house or a picture that you're setting up from. Again, you're just documenting what you're doing, inside the business. And of course, you can have your just solds under contracts, all of that stuff, but I just recommend to not just position it from not a salesy standpoint, which I know we've talked a lot about here, with that. Tips work great as well. Any kind of tips that you have for the general public, buying, selling tips, any of that stuff, any parts about the overall process. All right. So, then from there, because again, now you got your short form vertical content with your reels. Now, here's the thing is, you got to pay attention to with these different platforms of what they're pushing and what they're not pushing. So if you look at Reels right now, so again, your short form vertical content, Facebook specifically is really, and so is Instagram, but Facebook it seems to be pushing those heavier right now than Instagram. I think Instagram realized that maybe they push us a little bit too hard and they're trying to have more balanced of getting engagement between all different types of content creation. But with Facebook, here's an example. I'll go out there and post the same video, but is it just a video on a post, not a reel, but just but it'll be the same damn video, right? That might get 30 views on my Facebook page. But then if I upload as a reel, that might get like 1,500 views. It's just crazy. I recommend to have a combination of this stuff: your stories, your posts, your reels. Reels is a lot of people are liking the short form vertical content. A lot of companies are pushing this because they're trying to keep up with TikTok, if you will. You've got that; those are going to show up in people's feeds. Plus, you got the reel category there. Then obviously posts is going to show up in people's feeds. You guys all know what those are. And then stories. What are stories? So stories are just your 20 seconds. Right, they're just quick. They only live on there for 24 hours. But what stories are powerful for is because when people log in on their phone, they're always showcasing at the top, so it keeps you front of mind. So I recommend making sure that you're doing stories daily with that, and I'll go through my recommended content posting schedule here in a second with you, but that's going to help keep front of mind. So I recommend a combination of these things. And when it comes to stories, I'll do motivational posts for stories. I'll do, stories of anything I would do a post for or a reel for. It can't be 60 seconds like a reel, but it's got to be 20 seconds or less. But I can make a clip of that, and sometimes I'm repurposing. Like just before we jumped on here, I did a story, but the story was of a motivational post that I posted about a month ago that got trended really well. So I go back in, I just reuse something I posted before as a, to look like a new story. And that way it just goes out there and trends. So here is my recommended posting schedule. My recommendation is 4 pieces of content each and every single day, 7 days a week. Now that sounds like a lot, but I promise you it's not if you follow what I'm going to tell you here. All right, so now don't stress out though when you hear that. If you're like, holy shit, that's way too much for me. Okay, cool. All right, start with one. Start with 1 piece a day. Do that until it's easy. It becomes habitual. You no longer stress about it. Then jump to 2 pieces a day. Then once that becomes, it's like when somebody comes to me and is like, oh, dude, I'm waking up at 8 a.m. I need to start waking up at 5 a.m. Okay, cool. Maybe 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. is too big of a jump for you. Maybe we go from 8 a.m. and start getting you up at 7:30 a.m. We do that for the next 3 weeks. That becomes easy, right? You got that down. Okay, now let's go from 7:30 to 7. 7 to 6:30, 6:30 to 6, 6:30, then 5 to 6 to 5:30. Then boom, eventually we're there. If nobody's ever cold called before or followed up with high volume before on my team, okay, instead of trying to do 200 dials a day, let's just start with you with 30. Let's just work with that. Get that to where it's easy, got that down. Okay, then boom, let's double that to 40, 50, 60. So you can ease into this stuff. But I can promise you that this is not too much. People, it will not burn people out. It is not too much. It's what I found to be the perfect flow for people. That my teammate that I was just telling you guys about that did almost 3 million in the month of March. 10 deals all by herself in the month of March. And when I say all by herself, yeah, we provide TC support and but I mean I don't give a shit if you have TCs. That is a lot of freaking work, right? She spends 0 money on advertising. She's only been in the business 2 years. So yeah, she gets some referral business and a little bit of repeat, but I've been in the business 2 years. I mean, it really takes about 5 years before that really starts to kick in, where like half your business is from that. So most of these deals are from new business, and all of it comes from social media, right? And not paid, all of it from the strategies like we're talking about you here today on this. So like we just have been able to break down and know what works through testing, and that's kind of a cool thing with my own team is not only am I always testing on this, I've got 50 other agents that we're out there doing this stuff. We're masterminding each week what's working, what's not working, what's so it gives us a chance to just accelerate what works. All right, so with this, I recommend, again, 1 business content posting and 3 non-business content postings. When I say posting, content posting, that means, again, just posting a piece of content. It can be a reel, it can be a story, it can be, a post itself. So here's an example. I got 1 motivational quote, post, or story a day. I got 1 real estate business post or reel a day. I got 2 personal life content posts, and that 2 personal life content posts can be a real post or story. So okay, I got 1 motivational post. I got, let's just say, 1 business reel. And then I got 2 others that I'm going to post throughout the day, whether it be a story, a reel, or a post that is going to be personal life. So it can be any combination of these. But I do recommend that you do 1 story a day at least, that you do 1 reel a day and 1 post a day. And then for that, that 4th one, it can be a combo of any one of those things. But this way you're kind of leveraging all of the tools, all of the platforms out there, when it comes to this. So if you look at like what I'm doing right now, sorry, I'm just trying to fast forward through my notes here so I don't miss anything. If you look at like what I'm personally doing right now, when I talked about 27 pieces of content spread over 6 different platforms, and this takes me less than an hour a day. All right, so I'm doing 2 stories a day. Right, so when I say 2 stories, okay, I do those 2 stories on my Facebook personal page. I also take those 2 stories because I keep these either motivational or business related. So then I can use those 2 stories to also then go over and use those on my business page. So I've only done 2 stories, but I've repurposed it now to 2 places, right? So that's 4 total stories for the day. Then from there, I go to YouTube. YouTube does stories as well. So I then share that same damn story, upload that same story to YouTube, upload those same 2 stories to also Instagram. So now I've got 2 stories, but then now I've done those on 4 different platforms. So I got 8 pieces of content out there. Then I do 1 reel per day at a minimum. So same thing. I do put that reel on my personal page. Then I upload that reel. And for me, I keep it easy for me. I do all my reels business. So my personal stuff is just, more posts. So that way it's just easy because I can repurpose this then. So I do my 1 reel, boom, goes to my personal Facebook. Then I take that same reel, upload it, just copy paste, upload it to my Facebook business. Take that, upload it as an Instagram reel, upload that as YouTube short, then I upload that to TikTok. So I just create it just for Facebook, but then bam, 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 bam. Right? So I'm able to just repurpose that on all those different platforms. So then from there, I do 1 motivational post per day. So this is an actual post, right? Not a reel, not a story. 1 motivational post per day. Share that on my Facebook business. Put on my Facebook personal, put on my Facebook business, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. And then I will do 2 additional content posts, whether it be personal, whether it be business. It could be any combination of any of those. Usually it's going to be too personal at this point because I've already done a lot of business. This can be a combo of a real, short, or story, but I do those 2 additional pieces at a minimum. Now, I get asked, like, well, how do you do this in less than an hour a day? Okay, I block off 30 minutes every single day to create and upload the content. So you got to remember these reels are 60 seconds. They're fast, right? So I spend 30 and most of that time. So it's probably about 20 minutes, putting all, grabbing all the content to put out there. And then about 10 minutes a day of uploading and posting. Right? So I got 30 minutes though for content creation, content posting. Then I block off every single morning, just like, checking your emails, just like checking anything. I have a 30 minutes on my calendar blocked off every morning that I go into all my social media accounts and I respond and I reply to any of the engagement that took place on there. So make comment, anybody that liked, anybody that, went on there. So that's how I'm able to post and engage and create, post and engage in 27 total pieces of content each and every day. Right, so then people, seeing my message everywhere. Hopefully, you're seeing my message everywhere. Right. When it comes to this, but then do that in less than an hour. Like this shit doesn't need. So I'm doing this. I talked about this earlier on. I'm doing this with intention. I am being intentional. right? Like, okay, like you're either a drug dealer or the drug user. That's probably a terrible analogy, but when we're thinking about that, right? Like, I'm not the drug, well, I'm not a drug dealer either, but like you're utilizing these as a tool, or you're becoming the tool. So you got to pick and choose. All right, so I know I shotgunned a ton at you guys, but of course, you can rewind this, you can re-listen this. If you have any questions, comments, questions, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can toss those below. I know that, unfortunately, I wish that like Apple Podcasts would give us a way to kind of comment back and forth to each other. But you can also email me, joshua@gsdmode.com, or if you're on YouTube, you can, just comment with those questions. I respond to those every single day. Also, again, make sure to go snag your free ebook. Highly recommend that you check out GSDMode.com for more free training, for more free resources. Got free disc assessments on there, free ebooks on there, free trainings on there. You can also access where the podcast is at on all different platforms. If you found value in this, please like, subscribe, or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or one of the audio platforms, please give a 5-star review, give a testimonial. It helps us continue to grow this podcast. Truly appreciate all of you. Keep crushing it, keep kicking ass, and I will see you next time. Peace.